As you ready with
Pull it left. Pull that one.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon, wheresoever you are. Welcome to another edition. Today is Thursday, September 7th, or the 7th of September, 2023. And today is the blues day. So there's gonna be this afternoon. Having some flashback on our visit to Sierra Leone. To do a piece of job. And then when I came, the people started to put fire under my feet. Said, Magdalene, now you can go anywhere. You can even go Ukraine. I was like, wow. Well, actually, it was actually a wonderful, wonderful experience. And we hope to get more experience and for what we signed up for or for our country. Yeah, because we are one. And it was important that we be there to give updates. Others have been doing it. And yes, we joined them. So it's good to be here this afternoon. Yeah, so our lineup for today, we'll be talking at least 5 minutes with Chris. We'll be talking with Chris Ali. He's recovering on the upcoming debate, presidential debate, slated for September 13. Oh yes, all things. We're putting everything in order, in place for a successful program. And then we already have here in studio Liberian National Union National Chairman Lloyd Scott. And then later on, we will also be joined. We'll also play host to JKB. They have a debate coming up. For Monserrato lower, yes, lower house debate. Yes, Monserrato County lower house debate. Yeah, so I said today is Blues Day because even the Unity Party just did a press release and asking all of their supporters to, suspend campaign activities today.
Yes.
Yeah, to avoid
Chase, yeah.
yes, to avoid electoral violence because you might be tempted. So to avoid all of those things, stay away. Everything will resume tomorrow. Maybe we'll try to go in and review lines of the press release. Yeah, so let me take this time to welcome my colleague, Edwin Dolo. Edwin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Magdalene. Let's say good afternoon to all of our listeners across the country, those of you following.
So let me interrupt you. I'm very sorry. I announced JKB, but then I announced the anti-drug awareness hour is coming up today.
Yes.
It is coming up today as well. So we're going to have a wonderful time. Even if it is 35 minutes, 40 minutes, we're going to have the program today. Yes. But like I said the last time, we are in electionary period. So we when I say we can some of these programs, some of them sometimes will be interrupted yes. Because it's the same thing. If Madam Graceman was here this one time, was there her Councilor Kuku Double was here, and Madam Sia Her McCarthy Her was also here for district number 11. Kuku Double, Councilor Kuku Double for district number 3, and the Vice Senator Barrow was also here, and they were all talking. These are all things that are affecting the country.
Yeah, so I think we're trying to say that most of the time we discuss this drug issue.
Thank you. So it's something that is affecting everyone. It's of national concern. So it's not that we're trying to put it away. No, there are times like last week, the folks that were here, T1OK, Sumo Morba, and Sumo Jones, all from district number 3, they were here, and we also talk about the drug issue because this is something that is affecting everyone. It's of a national concern. So we are not telling you that we're going to root the anti-drugs awareness out. No, we're not doing it. But it will always be better with all of these conversations, even with the chairman already sitting here in studio, Mr. Lloyd Scott. We might talk about it as well because it's something that everyone wants it to be minimized.
Yes. It is not a national emergency. It is something that everyone should stand up against, and drugs are taking what the country we all know, like you said. Almost it is just an hour that we set aside for this program, but now we have to set it into almost all of the talking points at all of the time. Whoever we have here to talk about national issues, particularly election issues, we want to know because this is destroying our country. Drugs are taking over the country. We have almost a good percentage of our young people, particularly the boys, astray, and it is affecting us. It is affecting the human resource capacity. It is affecting the workforce. They are no longer contributing that they should be doing because of the drugs that are taking over. So it's serious.
All right. So, Chief, good afternoon. It's good to have you on. All right. So, we wish you speedy recovery. How's your health now?
Well, I just returned home from the hospital.
Okay.
I have my whole mouth blistered up.
Wow.
My palm, the blister. Finally, I thank God for his life.
All right, thank God for life. That's the most valuable thing. And sometimes the body is like a car; it needs servicing at times.
Yes.
So sometimes when you ignore it all of what is in your body comes out. When it comes out, then your body breaks down. But thank God that I hope you are taking your medication because that's one of your That's one of the weaknesses. I was saying, yeah. Okay, we want you tell me what I'm trying to say. You already know. So we wish you speedy recovery. So let's talk about the upcoming debate, presidential debate.
I just wish I've long wished to be in good health during these periods.
Mm-hmm.
People have very had to put me down, especially this time that we commit ourselves to the Liberian people. But thanks for the wish, and gradually I hope to be strong as the debate comes on. Yeah, so the debate is on 13th September 2023 at the Cinco Palace Auditorium. Cinco Palace is just on the Cotton Boulevard, opposite the PLP headquarters, People's Liberation Party headquarters on the Cotton Boulevard. And we managed to do the booking for the hall and reach out to almost 90% of the presidential candidates. And at least 50% told us that they will turn out. So the others will still engage in them.
We are still engaging, President. We are still engaging Ambassador Boakai. Yes.
Yeah, as far as concerned, letters have been dropped as we did to other presidential candidates.
Yes.
On this platform, we don't give anyone a preference over the other. Just as we address and we drop it off. And so that is it. The records are there that we invite everyone except for the presidential candidate called Mr. Miller. He's still in search of his. That's one of the things I think before I get into the debate, I should recommend to the NEC. I don't know where they have it. The NEC website is not updated. It's still have presidential
preliminary
listing of presidential candidates still on the website. Preliminary is not final. Meanwhile, people, the listing is on the outside, but the website is here. Preliminary. When do we accept the final? But that is besides the case. Political parties, quarters, location, and contact supposed to be on next website. Nike is the supervisor or the regulator of the political parties, and I can come just running in a room looking for people.
Yeah, asking people, calling people.
This is not good. It's not civilized. It is not working. Yeah. So I call on the election commission to do some adjustment on the radio. Where is this political party headquarters? No, it's not fair enough to us.
I think it should also be a requirement for NET to ask each one of these political parties to have a functioning website where they have all of their information, and we do not have to go through all of the what we are going through.
Those should be requirement for NEC.
Yeah.
Should be a requirement for NEC, and NEC should ensure that these people have contact, and we should not be running around making public announcements for people to show all their respect to their quarter. Meanwhile, anyone who knows candidates, I think you're going to find the regional name or the full name. Anyone who knows the political party about people like
yeah, Mr. Rachel Miller, say Miller.
Rachel Miller.
Yeah, Liberians for Prosperity.
Take your fight political party headquarters. So on the debate, we managed to invite civil society organization, CMEX of Michael Joseph, Oscar Road Election Coordinating Committee, the Press Union of Liberia, the National Election Commission itself, Josephine Nkrumah, EU, the doyen members of the diplomatic corps, and the U.S. Election Observation Mission here. I just listened to the ambassador on the news about their commitment and ensuring free, fair, and transparent election. And in our view, it should be at these debates. So far, so good. Yes, I'm open to question.
All right, you got a question?
Yes, and why, if you were to talk to the people, why is it important for these presidential candidates to attend the debate?
Well, Liberia, like any other modern democracy, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in order to make areas of cross-cutting. We got the economy, we got education, we got health, security, agriculture, and cross-cutting issues like drug abuse or addiction or all with the sexual, violence and stuff like that, like rape. And so these are core issues that I want to believe each presidential candidate has their his or her own way of addressing if they elected president. So it is a golden opportunity. It's a platform that will come. For example, we ask you, candidate, do you believe that the economy is on west footing? If yes, now tell us. If no, now tell the Liberian people, if elected, how are you going to revive this economy that you say is now on the right footing? And that goes to education, it goes to health and social welfare, it goes to agriculture, social welfare under the disabled and the elderly. It also goes to security and drug abuse, as I said. We've also managed to invite LINSO, the Liberia National Student Union, and the Female Journalists Association.
You want to talk about some of the colleagues you anticipate inviting some professional?
State of the Nation is the organizer, and we have several media colleagues who will be there as moderators. Magdalene, Edwin, Dolo, myself will be in the background. We gave 1 or 2 maybe volunteers, and Clarence Jackson has consented to serve as one of the moderators.
Okay.
Oni Roberts.
Okay.
Of Truth FM, Clarence Jackson of OK, and Nathaniel Van is yet to be reached, and this is a guy who and I have always worked together, and I have no doubt that he's going to accept another part from
Cool FM.
From yes, Cool FM, and we reach out to Equals Radio, Romeo Toba, and that of Siwaba.
Okay.
Equals Radio. These are moderators, and the others, like the election, all the coordinating committee. Senior experience, we all serve as observers, and we got a host, Liberia Public Radio, based in the United States, but streamlining the how to work, and with a letter here, Magda, if accepted, one of us, and to provide high-speed internet for online streaming of the debate.
Okay, so you can you please place emphasis on the admission? Is it free of charge or no cost attached?
Okay, so no cost attached, but we limited each presidential candidate to come with 20 members of their supporters. We look at the capacity of all 20 members. So if all 20 attend, 20 times 20, you're talking about 400 persons in a row. And the admission is free.
Yeah, no cost.
Admission is free with no cost attached. We want to overemphasize all of these things are also, though we have to pay for the hall, and it is a widow's mite that State of the Nation is doing. And to pay for the hall, we book for 3 hours, and we also told the presidential candidates that we begin at 10 o'clock. We start at 10 on the dot, because every minute is counted against us. Every minute is counted against us, and we didn't want to wait. That someone say, "Oh, let's wait for 1 more hour." That 1 hour is paid for, and so we caution them or encourage them going to be time. So we can start in time and turn the war over. And any other additional, if the debate is so interesting to the point that any presidential candidate wants an extension, but they have just the hotel management to negotiate for the payment of the extension. But we secure three hours.
All right. So this place is one of the prestigious hotel in the country, Liberian owned, and we are going to be there. We are going to ensure that we serve you water. We will serve you water. Just water.
Yeah, water. Yeah, we invite you. We will serve water. Water is universal hospitable tool.
Yes,
Yeah.
even is it in the code of conduct, right? The code of code of conduct or the labor law? The labor law.
No, it is the civil service.
Sending, okay.
You should serve your employees.
Okay.
Safe drinking water at the era of assignment.
So you will be assigned with us, and we will give you water. Safe drinking water. All right, so we have to let you go. Please take your drugs and drink enough water. Also take in fruits.
Yeah, it's good. Fruits, water.
All right, we gotta let you go.
So my mobile money is already the big bags of fruits. Thank you so much in advance.
All right, God bless you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You're welcome. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You want to say something?
Yeah, I think it's good. Like Mr. Sally said, we hope that all of the candidates have received the letters and come to the program on September 13, 2023 to tell the Liberian people, talk to your people, tell them how you are going to fix this country.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's wonderful. And on a serious note, it's going to be a civil debate, a civil discussion. And yes, we got 30 minutes for you. All right. So now let's go strictly to the Chief. Okay, you just put on your So maybe after this we'll try to talk to one or two seditions. Let's see what's happening over on the what's happening in town. James Sadiba have already consented. He talked this morning. I hope when we place the call to him, you'll be able to talk maybe in a quiet area. And even Mr. Garrison door there.
Yeah.
Door there, yellow have already consented to, so we can talk to them maybe less than 3 minutes to find out what's actually happening out there. Irrespective, we are all Liberians and this is our home. So good afternoon, sir. It's good to have you here from Lino.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So you the chairman,
of the campaign? Yes, ma'am.
Oh, of the campaign. Okay. All right. So this is Edwin Dolo.
Yes, I think just reduce the volume from there. Okay.
Edwin, good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. We want to say welcome to State of the Nation. Is it our first time?
This is my first time. I've been in the area before, but I haven't had the distinct privilege.
Okay, so you've been here. Your face look very familiar. All right. So the guy seated beside you is an intern who is very supportive. Yes, very, very supportive, and he's on top of the game. He's a producer. He is a producer, and then the guy sits here also, Arthur Butler with the hair. The guy with the hair there.
It's our technician.
Yes, the technician. So we all do this together. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your current position at. When were you appointed as campaign chairperson?
Well, again, good afternoon and thank you for having me. When Dr. Moneyba declared on January 17th of this year, I think within a matter of a week or two, we came on board as a national chair. But at the time, it was not a campaign; it was a movement. And so we worked and then put a campaign together. But most of our work is done building and strengthening institutions. And it's at times like these that we then go public to display our huge political arsenal.
So, with what skill did you come to this position with on part of the land campaign?
Well, thank you. I think your colleague said she recognizes me. I look familiar. In 2005, we began working on building this current dispensation. At the time, we called it a new dispensation. I began with the campaign of Ambassador Winston Tubman. I was a special assistant. In 2011, I was the chief of staff. In 2017, as a deputy legal advisor to the then president, I consulted some campaigns, but my job would not allow me to, run a campaign. And today I'm here. So I understand this new dispensation more than most. Well, I've been working with the candidate for the last 2023, we want to say 9 years or thereabouts, officially part of Lino this year.
Yeah, Dr. Clarence Manuma, a young man. We want to tell us what really moved you to work with him? What did you see in him, or what did you see in him that you are working with him to make sure that he becomes president?
I know the man. I was not just a guy hired to run a campaign. I was a fellow activist in the movement asked to be the technocratic operational team leader of the campaign. I worked with him in the previous government. I saw him in action. I saw the things he did. I'm aware of the negotiations he led, the projects he oversaw. I saw his temperament up close and personal. I saw his disposition when stressed or under extreme pain. Sometimes people would say angry. I saw him when he was happy. And then one thing I always saw is a guy who was intensely committed to making a new country, a better country for our people, and hence the acronym A New Liberia. So because I know the man, and because I understand the man, and I appreciate the depth of international connections he has, I respect the experience nationally he's gained in the system. I have no doubt that when Liberians go to the polls on October 10th and they choose him, they would have decided and announced publicly that they definitely want change, and they will get change for the better. And that's why I'm working with him. I think that's an understatement. He's more than that. And let me give you a quick publicly on January 17th. And there's this national pushback. They're now used to young people aspiring and daring to lead. And there's frankly speaking, a whole bunch of disrespect. But what has happened since then? You can see the money by effect already. You have young candidates being considered for the vice presidency. Some that were just running to be representatives have now been elevated because the young people's agenda have been elevated to the front and center. You see all of a sudden people's campaigns acronym are changing from this and that to the future young people. So he's already begun having that effect. And that's the money by effect. So yes, he's more than the change that this country needs, and it's overdue.
Going to say here, in conclusion, there have been complaints of economic breakdown and drugs abuse. Do you think the people would trust another young man? Clarence much younger than President George?
Edwin Boyd Dolo. That is an oversimplification of what a qualified young person should be, and a misstatement of what the Liberian people thought they were getting. This current young man has no governing philosophy. Dr. Moneyback comes to the governing philosophy. We elected, it was an aberration. We elected, an international icon who was in the lore of the Liberian people, assuming that he would unite the country and bring a team that could help him lead. Nobody who supported this current government did so because they had a slew of policies to move this country forward. They did so because there was an emotional attachment to him. They liked the fact that when in the midst of war, our country's name was being disparaged. Okay, he was one of our better stories around the world. And so there was that attachment, that appreciation for what he brought. And because he's filled epically, I don't think it should be compared to young people. And let me end on this. A lot of our brothers and sisters, because of economic deprivation, have been turned to what we call Zogos today. I heard you talking about the drug issue earlier. Are those young people representative of those of us who are in the studio who are also young people? Is their state, current state, representative of our state? And if the answer is no, then I submit to you that George Weah is not a representation of the young leadership who proffer for this country.
We are in campaign activities, which was launched on the 5th of August. And so far, from August 5th to now, what's your view about what you see around when it comes to political parties having rallies, Lionel having rallies, moving from one place to another? What do you see? Is it being more democratic? Is it being more patriotic, or you see something else?
So thank you. That's a complicated question. So hopefully I get a few seconds, few minutes to answer. Officially, campaign began August 5th. The CDC began February 4th when they had a rally at the ATS. The National Elections Commission allowed them to have a rally. They did nothing about it. And these are the reasons. This is one of the reasons for which Dr. Moneyba is aspiring to lead this country, to get law and order enforced. What do I see? I see issues that are very concerning. We see a country where our people can barely afford a meal per day, where employees are not being paid monthly. And the only group that has money in this country to spend like a sailing drunken sailor is the CDC. We also are very, very concerned, and something happened in the last few days in District 11. There's a young man, we're talking about change and elevating young new leadership in the country. There's a young man that we call countryman, Dr. Toy, who after being declared free and cleared to run by the National Elections Commission, was found ineligible by the Supreme Court a few days ago. And that's very, very concerning. When you look at all of the issues, that 40 days to election, a young man, a candidate of change, a young man who's done so much for his people, for whom, the unofficial polls had it that it was clear that it was his to lose. He now gets found ineligible to run. What happens to all of the investments he's made based on his reliance on what the NEC told him he could or could not do? So yes, I'm seeing issues, or we are seeing issues in Lino that are concerning us, right? So this idea of, tautology, talking democratic speak is a good thing. And we're in the process because ultimately we respect our people's most potent weapon on October 10th to vote. But we're also very concerned about the rule of law and an adherence to the process, especially when you see the kind of unhinged spending by the CDC. And frankly speaking, what some other parties are doing. A few days ago, 2 days ago, Unity Party literally used vehicles to block the streets around 540 right before Ministerial Complex to create the aura that they had such a crowd that had black traffic in town. I mean that with every fiber of my being. Because we had people go and check. In fact, when I was first stood, that cars were blocking the road. I heard it from a friend of mine who's a UP partisan. Unlike others, we have friends in every political nomenclature. And then Susan Berry, we all know the size of Susan Berry. We all know the size of the streets and the road space. So even if you don't take it from me, you can use your own intellectual conjecture to understand exactly what we're saying. For those of us in the opposition who are concerned about bringing a change to this country, we have to be adherents not to just to the rule of law, but to respect the wishes of the Liberian people. People leaving work should not be constrained just because somebody wants to create an aura 2 days before the CDC to say we got the same crowd, we had an even bigger crowd.
You with the campaign, with the strategy that you put into place, how is it working out for now?
Do you have strategies first?
God willing, when Dr. Moneyba assumes the presidency in January of 2024, we will work on the tourism sector of this country. And I already see that you might be a candidate to head our movie theater, because I see you great with writing scripts, and I thought that was a good one in that direction. We're in this business because we have a strategy. In fact, right now, our candidate is on the road. He's in Bummy, along with the vice standard bearer. We have a strategy of taking our campaign to the people. There is a bevy of silent voters. There is a bevy of first-time voters, of voters who have just decided that they're too disenchanted, they're too hurt to the greatest chagrin. They're not interested in the process anymore. And so those are the people that we are going to. And Dr. Moneyba is stressing believe. We're saying focus on your focus. That on October 10th you can make your voices heard. So we're not doing the rallies, feeding people, giving them water, and leaving them to go home hungry. We're going to their communities. We're reaching out to them, and we are saying that, believe you me, better days are just ahead. But the potency of your vote should not be overlooked. Again, when we go to the neighborhoods and the communities, we're pulling crowds that are there. We're not transporting people. We're going there, we're meeting with them, we're interacting with them. And
you block others' traffic as well. Because, the same thing.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Why?
There's a difference. When you a voter, when you a potential supporter, when you are excited and happy and you're coming out and traffic is jammed, that's one thing. But when a campaign, park cars in the middle of the streets or barely on the side of the road and leave just a slight space in the middle for two lanes to pass by because I want to create an aura, intentionally stalling traffic to make a political point versus excited and exuberant supporters, i.e. our Liberian people. There's a big difference. And so when we do black crowds, it is our people that are coming out and backing crowds. And when you saw our rally on June 30th, when we unveiled our vice president, we had people keeping people on both sides of the road. And the traffic was still moving, albeit not at the same pace it was moving at. We're going around the country. We're touring the country again beginning Monday. We're going to 4 to 6 counties in 12 to 14 days. And we will be visiting again. We're going to towns. We're going to villages. We submit to you that we are the only, or maybe one other opposition party that might be going out to visit the people in the different towns and other places. We're not living on Facebook. We're not having big rallies. We're not just calling crowds to get. We're not living on Facebook or social media. We're not just.
Your standard bearer moves around with Spoon TV, moves around with other online platforms.
We are educating our people and informing them. And these different media are being used to inform them. When I say we're not living on Facebook, we're not having a rally. We're not taking 500, 1,000, 1,500 people, cropping pictures, blowing it up, and sharing it on Facebook. We are taking our message to the Liberian people. We are going to Wela. We are going to Kwendima County. We are going to Tapita. We are going to Kampley. Okay, we in Banga. We in Zwerjo. We in Chen District. We are taking it to the people. And at the end of the day, we're in Sami, in Bon County. Lofa County. We're all over the place. Montserrat, of course. We are all in the rural parts. We are going to the people. And at the end of the day, it will be those people that will be voting. The rally goers, I submit to you, at least 60% of them, and you're the journalist, I'm not, you might educate me more, but at least 60% of the rally goers in the central cities, they come to just about 3 or 4 or 5 rallies per campaign season. Is there time to see? Is there time to examine? Is there time to belong? Is there time to get t-shirts? We understand that. That's why we're going to the people.
Yes, I saw your campaign when Dr. Moneyba arrived in Nimba, particularly Sanikole. It was just a few days, and after the vice presidential candidate for the Unity Party have left the areas, and you go to the county. These are vote recounting. What do you tell the people, especially in Nimba, where they got a son running as a vice presidential candidate? They also got a presidential candidate.
So Nimba got a twin vice presidency, right? They got Prince Johnson, Jeremiah Coon with the Unity Party, and then they have
Did you say twin?
They have a twin vice presidency. A de facto commander-in-chief in waiting if they should win in Prince Johnson with Jeremiah Coon, his political son. They also have Councilor Tiawan Gonglo. And though I'm here making a plug-in for Lionel and Dr. Clarence Wehe Moneyba and Madam Grace Pond, I got to be fair. In Nima, you also have, I believe, Wapo, Jeremiah Wapo. Okay, so what we're saying to these people is, look, the very rules that you enjoy in Nima today, okay? These are projects that Dr. Moneyba worked on in the executive mansion. This is the only opposition candidate, and I repeat, the only opposition candidate, along with Marakman, who entered the executive mansion from day one and they will be recognized, and people will say, Chief, hello, Chief, welcome back, because they work in the sector. Others may have worked in the legislative branch. Others were outside of government. But this is the only candidate that hits the ground running. This is the only candidate also that has dealt with the international development of partners that this country needs. He met with them. He knows them. They trust him. They answer his phone call because he's delivered for them before. And so what we say to these people is, look, you had it before when he was a minister. Why not take it as a president so that he can do even more? The people out there respect him. The people out here, I guarantee you, every time we go somewhere, people meet Dr. Moneyback. They love the man. Sorry, they fall in love with the man. That's even bigger. So there is something happening. There's a storm gathering politically in this country. I think young people have decided that, oops, it's okay that we thought our brother was prepared. We rewarded him, but this is the real deal. And October, if elections were held today, we can't tell you what will happen. When elections are held October 10, we submit to you that history will be in the making. The Peter Obi movement will succeed in Liberia. Barack Obama magic will be performed in Liberia.
So which county? When we go into your county?
The standard bearer is in Bumming today, and I will be.
No, I said your county.
You from Bumming era, District 3, the Swim Mega District. Okay, so it's about 45 minutes from Groveville. I can describe the path to you if you want to. So the standard bearer is there today. He's visiting the Tottenhamburg area. We'll be back in Bumming. When we come back, we'll tour District 3. We'll go back to Tottenhamburg, and then we'll head towards Papalu.
When will you go to the southeast?
Again, we're beginning a 4 to 6 county tour on Monday. We're carrying the path. We're going from Magidi, Bong, Nima, Grand Jide.
Are you passing Aricos?
No, we'll leave that to the president and other candidates. So
to do what?
To pass through Aricos. We will leave that to them. The people who came to solve the problem have created more of a problem. We will use in Lofa, Dr. Moneybar rode motorbikes.
Yeah, he said
it.
Yeah,
no, the clips are there. If we have to go places that vehicles cannot go, we're not carrying motor cars, we'll carry motorbikes.
Wow.
Yes, okay. That move down to the policy issues that we have here. We have normally we ask about education. Politicians will come to say we will do this, but how will you do it? Normally people don't see it visible. How will you? What will be your policy on education, and how will you implement it?
So one of the things with Dr.
Just further up on that because Dr. Moneybar brags about education to master. We got some jokes for him. So I mean, you tell us how you're going to achieve this.
You use the word brag, but what Dr. Moneybar doesn't like to do is to beat on other people for their lack of education. So he only talks about himself and he leaves other people out. Yeah, so for instance, we've talked about one of the pillars of our educational policy is to make sure when young people graduate high school in this country, they are useful to the country in two forms, right? They are economically strengthened. They have a skill set. And also they can then decide whether or not they enter colleges immediately, okay, to propel themselves. But there's something that's working. As we bring companies in Liberia, one of the things we complain about, people come to Liberia and they hire all of these expatriates, even the locals that they're struggling for menial jobs, for menial skill jobs. Like the Moneybar is saying, but wait a minute. Before you graduate high school, you should have a technical skill set. So that when a company is coming here, you can have a job. You can decide to go to school, to college, you can decide to go to college and work simultaneously. You can decide to forego college and work on your trade. You can decide to go to college and enhance your trade. There was a while in this country when we were growing up, our big brothers and sisters were graduating. They were doing home economics in Cinco and other places, BWI, other places. They were also doing skill sets, trade school. So Dr. Moneybar is saying we need to focus on that. And we think that jumpstarts the process. Okay, we need to stop this process of whitewashing buildings and calling them schools. No chairs. The teachers in there are not equipped. I am a son of a teacher, and I can tell you that if you train teachers properly and you focus on the university part, And government trains these people. And Dr. Maniba will have these people. This country will be built district by district, 73 political districts.
Except,
Man, just before that, let's go back to that
But Chief,
trade.
Chief, let me finish one second. I want you to hold your thought. Don't forget, it sounds important.
Yes.
So we will build this country district by district, right? So teachers will be educated at university levels, but not just kept in Monrovia, not just kept in Maryland when they finish the Tubman University. They will be dispatched around the country. Okay, we have a peace school on education also, so that we can begin to lift our country from the bottom up. And for those of us economically struggling in the middle, from the middle out to expand the country. Yes, sir, Chief, sorry.
Yes. I want to go back to that trade area, talking about people graduating. Is it that you have trade at the public school? Is it that you ask the private school to have the trades part of their school one?
So on day one, and what I'm saying to you is subject to reviewing and getting the executive order plan passed while we're working with the ministry and all of that. And all of that. But on day one, there will be an executive order passed at every child in high school within the Republic, enforced by the Ministry of Education, from 10th to 12th grade. That's high school. So when Dr. Maniba gets inaugurated next year, the people who are in 11th and 12th grade will not be affected. We may have a 1-year requirement for 11th graders, but those in the 10th grade beginning that year, theoretical trade will be part of the first year curriculum, and the second year will be the practical aspect. And you can do it because right now you have the Ministry of Education telling private schools when they can graduate, when they cannot graduate, waiting for the WAS results and all of that. So the Ministry of Education has the enforcement arm of the country, and we will work with our private school partners so that they, from what I understand in North Education Liberia, they also are uniquely appreciative of graduating quality materials because it helps their product and the schools sell.
So let me take you back to tourism. You talk about tourism, and tourism is one of the areas. Countries around the world used to generate billions of dollars. So tell us how you intend to make this sector very robust. How you intend to make this sector, generate revenues for our country?
Well, it's part of our economic policy. Number one, between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Information and Tourism sector, Dr. Maniba will try to immediately enforce the, visa on arrival policy, right? People that want to come to Liberia can get visa on arrival at the airport. Makes it less onerous, less burdensome on travelers, right? And then when you improve the economy in different counties, okay, everybody should not just come to Monrovia to go to Marshall. Okay, back in the days, there were shocks. To be able to go to what was happening a few years ago, remember people used to go to Cape Mount, to Robertsport a lot. There were things happening there. Okay, we want businesses, to go to Bassa, to go to Lofa. And how do you get those things happening? You improve the road network also. So there was a comprehensive plan to jumpstart the economy. The road networks get improved, security gets improved. We'll not be telling businesses buy your own CCTV. The educational system gets improved, and that helps the economy because when you got good schools, as the business people come to bring their families. So all the money not just be made and be siphoned off to the, a lot of it will be spent here. And so that there is a detailed comprehensive plan, and we'll submit more to you in details, but that's just a nugget of what we plan on doing.
Oh yes, that move to health.
Health, yeah, okay.
Health and social welfare. This is one area that the country seems to still be challenged despite huge investment from the international partners in recent years. Are your plans for health? What do you know currently about our health status as a party?
I can tell you it's beyond my pay grade to explain what's been happening with this government since 2018 in the health sector. What I can tell you is that every time somebody gets sick, they shouldn't be looking for a plane ticket to go to Ghana when the disease has metastasized, or to go to India or China or Europe or America. Our health system, Dr. Maniba again says, like I told you earlier, building the country district by district. Every district in this country should have a working clinic and then a working hospital. that people in our district can go to. We have some of the best doctors in this country. When they go other places or when the equipment and medication is there, they work well. It is respecting and recognizing the talent level that we have and the system that we need, because we're not doing that. That's what happens. JFK, Jackson Field Medical Centers, for starters, we want those places to be referral hospitals for West Africa and eventually all of Africa, not the other way around. Which, one of the things I would not do to you is to look you in the eye and lie to you.
Okay.
It's in our 100-day plan to begin putting them in place. But if anybody thinks that the decadence of this country, especially over the last 5.5, 6 years, will be resolved within 100 days, okay, then I got an umbrella that can stop all the rain from coming for you. But I can say that within the first 100 days, we will be working. Before inauguration, when the man is announced president-elect of the republic, you will see a sea change. You will see for the first time a young insurgent has been granted the privilege of state power by the people. Okay? When we elected the first female president, you saw the reservoir of international acclaim, accolades, and love, the attention span of the country. For the first time, when you have that young insurgency taking over the country by the people, somebody who knows how to go and bring business in, you will see the attitude, the feelings of the people will change. The world will begin to focus on us again. And we have the right Captain Moneyback, who will begin to make Liberia the new Liberia that we're talking about.
All right. So I want to read a few comments here. Those that are talking about you, talking about what we are discussing. He said, this is a great man and of Lino. And the other person said, Brenda Lee, I highlighted her comment. G. Peg Junior Avi said, my brother, please, Nema is no go zone for we are. If you build roads in Nema time, would tell JB successful Jeremiah Kun. And then V. Harris says, yeah, ticket to the future. Yeah, I think he's talking. I think he or she is talking about. But I want us to go back. You wanted to ask. Right? But let me finish with this Nima stuff. Is it how do you feel if your stand-up bureau was talking to somebody incompetent and then blue out of the blue sky you hear that conversation that was done in private and it's all over on social media. What would be your response? Are you going to give it ears and give it some attention? Is it going to break you down?
Yes, I would. But let me temper that by saying that I'm not in the business of answering grand hypotheticals without more details. Having said that, let me quote.
Okay, let me play this, and then it will give you more understanding on what I'm trying to say. Is there anything wrong? Is there anything wrong with this video, this audio? Is there anything wrong with it, Scott?
If you have questions, please write them down. Just let me address it for a second. No, because I think we need to have a conversation with the Liberian people. When you asked the question earlier, when your candidate is sitting down and discussing detailed
Okay.
campaign plans,
Yes.
proprietary
Yes.
campaign information, and not just as holiday, that's one thing, right? But
Yes.
when somebody and the de facto commander-in-chief for the United Party in Prince Johnson, the butcher of Liberia, the man who single-handedly murdered more Liberians during the course of the war than any group combined, singularly, when he is discussing and telling you the sinister motives that they have and they had in becoming vice presidential candidate to VP boycott, that explains a lot. The Liberian people believe they are electing presidents. They're voting for presidential candidates. The vice presidential candidate is a part of the presidency that they're voting for. But you have somebody saying, in the words, Nima will win.
But yeah,
Okay.
he's being optimistic. Is that anything?
I don't flaw. I don't shun him for his optimism. I don't fault him for that. What I do fault him for is the sinister motive, the calculation to undermine the institution of governance in this country, to attempt to potentially do back to Joe Boyka, to Omen Joe Boyka, what he did to Samuel Doe. If you follow the history of the war, Prince Johnson and Samuel Doe had an alliance. He went in the military barracks. The generals of Mr. Doe advised him to capture him, to arrest him, to deal with him, or maybe even worse.
But I don't want you to go too far. I don't want you to go far. But for me, what I see about this is, I mean, the thing there is that he's talking about you can see the difference. Mr. Kun is younger than Ambassador Barker. Ambassador Barker has age.
I agree.
So I don't know.
I
for
agree.
me, I see nothing about
and I
this.
applaud that. And if you're a voter and you go to vote on October 10 and you want to vote for a vice presidential candidate, that's fine. But we're just saying to the people of Liberia, don't take it from me. Jeremiah Kun said in 2023, I will not support Omen Barker because he will be too old. The brain will be decaying. Prince Johnson is political father who told us before Kun was announced that with a minute, Nima Kano will get a vice presidency. He resigned when he was sanctioned by international community and he made Kun the political leader of MDR. He has just told us that Liberians, you're not voting for Omen Barker. You voted for Omen Barker to have a short-term title, but for Kun and Prince Johnson to be the presidents. Again, we all will vote. But I'm just saying that if Prince Johnson has done nothing for the Liberian people, he's told you exactly what you will be voting for and what they're selling. It's up to the people of Liberia now to decide: do we want a Prince Johnson president, de facto presidency, or do we want to,
All right.
And then, let me end with this, please.
Yeah.
That's where the new Liberia will Clarence pay him money by and Grace T. McGill-Kwan Company.
Okay, so now we're about to take calls 0777 25 38 19.
Yes.
0777
932-170, 0775 932-170, and you can call. You'll be part of the show. And
so it's also an invitation to you. I'm sorry, but I don't know your schedule. We have an anti-drug awareness hour coming up. So if you can also join us. It's coming up at 4:15. We're going to take maybe 40 minutes. Usually it's 3:30 to 5 o'clock, but because of some busy schedule. So let me take the first caller. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah, my name is Edwin. I have a word of caution for our brother in studio. Our focus here is Mr. George Weah. Dr. Moniba is a product of the Unity Party. When you come to studio, leave the party out. And focus on George Weah. All of us opposition should focus on George Weah, because if you tend to leave George Weah and start talking about the Unity Party, Moniba just decided to be president in January. Is that okay? Why Dr. Moniba is not married? Is that a constitutional requirement? But it's morally incorrect for someone aspiring for the highest office and it's not married up to now. We need to be focused on George Weah, not the Unity Party, because all of us will need each other.
Okay.
If there will be second round. So if the Unity Party don't focus on the main corporate,
okay.
People, George Weah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Eva. Blackie. Eva, you're supposed to be here. Where are you? Yeah. Hello. Yes, sir.
Let me appreciate it again. I want to know, because also, we have 3 days to the lesson of the president. We are not seeing the plan of the Boulevard in Canada Street. And so, remember that Makini is a full population of racial photo of around 180 photo of the club. Where do you have an offer in Makini or to me specific application?
Okay, he's taking, if he get called Edwin, please tell me. Yeah, hello. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Who's speaking? Your name, please. Your voice. Okay. 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 Thanks for placing in your car. It's all right, my brother.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Quickly.
That feeling on a negative basis because everybody can feel the way you want to feel because somebody feel the best thing is something that is the person who sponsor the war. But what is saying is just a mere perception that you can calculate. But if the president and the past president is elected to stop the president in the process of the starting the video of the candidate or the candidate person. So if the man says he will be there to do the work, it is not a wrong thing.
Okay. So here, una vice president will not be ceremonial.
No.
Okay, so I get you, Chief. Yeah, that's why he trying to. Okay, yeah. Hello. Yeah.
I want to make a follow-up question. Is my brother Morba, Dr. Morba, is married? Is he not married? But does he have children? And if he has the children, where are the children? And why he has the children and not yet married? We want to know whether the children in Liberia or where.
Okay.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Jim Jiginsoma. I'm calling from District 1.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I listened to your student very well. Instead of selling his skeleton that a Moluwa is destroying that a Moluwa gradually.
How?
The Senator Kuhn is talking about, there are all politicians in this country that are well known with established constituencies. That a Moluwa is just coming into the policy, only using the name of his late father. That a Moluwa is supposed to have started with Representative John from where he comes from, whether he's known him in Lofa.
Okay.
Because from Lofa is well known that he's in the race. So when will he get involved from Lima when he started? I mean, from Liberia when he started to discuss Lima politics, when he's supposed to vote, people small portion of the vote there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we can take any calls. Yeah, you can just listen to the callers, right?
Yeah. Yes. So you can go ahead.
Yeah.
So let me start with from the beginning. And again, thank you. Let me just start from the bottom. The last person said that instead of selling my candidate, I'm destroying him gradually. And then he begins to insult the candidate. He's new. He's only depending on his father. Where will he get a vote from in Lofa? The last time I checked, every one of us here are products of our parents. And so if your parents feel to leave a legacy that you can live on and follow, please indulge Dr. Moneybar. Don't begrudge him because your father failed to leave one for you, or you don't have one that you're proud of at this time to run. So Dr. Moneybar has been in the governance of this country for the last 10 years. He is not new. He is new to elected politics, but he is not new to the burning issues. He's done more in 44 years of life than a lot of people in 90 years of life have done, and he's very proud of that. The question before that was he is not married, and since he's not married, does he have a children? I assume he meant children or a child, and if so, where are they currently? Dr. Moneybar is the proud father of a very loving, adorable son who lives with him, who's currently on vacation with grandparents. Yeah, somebody said Dr. Moneybar. I mean, I'm reading the comments by Prince John negatively from my own perception. The president is elected, the vice president is elected, quote unquote, to help the president. And I agree with him. I will also add that he's not elected to be president, and which is what Prince Johnson is saying. Somebody said they would vote for George Manuel Weah, and I said to everybody, I want your vote. But if you're not going to give it to me, please vote. Exercise the right to vote. And that person, I got 32 days or 32 days to work on them. I like our chances. They will come home. Emmett Howard from Kakata said that 33 days of elections, flyers are not being seen in the Kakata streets. And where's our district office? Our district office is in Magibi District 3. Magibi District 3. We were just there on Saturday at the district office. Flyers are there. Unfortunately, the exuberance of some people, they are tearing flyers down, and we are beginning to resaturate those major cities and even towns in the country. So, Emmett, please look out. You can contact the campaign. You can go to moneybar2023.com, reach out to the campaign, and we'll certainly get in touch with you and get you involved with our people, because I see in you a burning desire of somebody who wants to be involved. And so I saved the best for last. Abel Blackie. He said, our focus here should be on George Weah, not on the opposition. Not a bad start. And then he immediately pivots into berating Dr. Moneybar when he says that he is not married, we all need each other. Where will he get his votes from in Lofa? Ordinarily, were we not 33 days away from election, I would not dignify such with the wrath of my indignation or even a response. But let me respond to it. I don't know if there's a deed that some of these people have in United Party that when you criticize the stewardship of the party, of the Joseph Boyka wing of the party, okay, they make a living out of insulting the one person that ever gave that party state power. But when you criticize the things they're doing, then you become an enemy of the state. And I don't know if there's a map, and maybe you can have it, help me find it, you're in the press. The map of Lofa that's owned by Joseph Boyka. This myth that one person owns Lofa, the original Lofa banner is a Moneybar. Okay, it's a Moneybar. That's the original Lofa banner.
Okay.
No. Please, I'm answering this question. It's very important.
There are many, yeah.
And then you regret him for not being married. So why would not dignify the married, not married part? He sounds like a Joe Boyka supporter, like a United Party supporter. Is Jeremiah Kun married? The woman Jeremiah Kun took when he was being announced as vice president. He's a 45-year-old man also. Ask him if he's married. Don't only ask the 44-year-old phenom if he's married. Ask the 45-year-old VP, the man who will be president Boyka is elected if he's married. And then we have a president that's married. We have Samuel Doe who was married. We have President Taylor. A lot of people love him who was married. Let's talk about what marriage has done to improve this country. Dr. Moneybar was a young, unmarried father in his 30s. He brought hundreds of millions of dollars to Liberia. No international negotiator told him, I will not talk to you because you're not married. They respected him. They knew his game. They understood his honesty. They looked up to what he was bringing to the table. That is what Liberia could benefit from. And let's stop this childishness about somebody's bedroom behavior. Because the people who are talking about marriage, most of them married around here got 6 different homes. So let's not talk about that.
Yeah, no, I'm just hearing that today. On a serious note, I don't know. I mean, anyway, but we have to go. We have to go. The books are out, and we have to go. The anti-drug awareness and the JKB will be here. So yeah, it was wonderful having you. Let's do this most often. I mean, what is part of your campaign strategy, I know, is to take on the media. That I think a week ago, the Senator was here. This week, your vice senator and
I have an appeal to make to the media.
Yeah, quickly, 30 seconds.
Please. In 2017, we elected somebody who did not have one major debate or interview or press conference. Let these people come, compel them to come and debate with their colleagues on the issues, the burning issues of Liberian people.
And that's how we have the platform. And I drop communication to your party headquarters.
We will accept it. We will accept it. I will pray that President Weah accepts Vice President Boykott's offer to debate. I think that will be interesting. We will debate Vice President Boycott, President Weah. We will debate anybody who's seriously desirous of being this.
At Single Palace Hotel on Wednesday is going to begin at 10 o'clock. So thanks so kindly for coming. Let's do this most often.
Thank you.
All right. Yes. Let's get it.
Well, thank you again for the opportunity. Thank you for giving us the privilege to be here. By the way, I'm Jacob Bien, and I'm here with Sandy Camara. Sandy is Director of News there at Lux FM. He's the focus person on the 4 debates we have to conduct here in Mosorado County. So Sandy will pick up from right there.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's good to be in your studio. And let me say, we are here to publicize a national debate, a debate for Mosorado County. The debate will cover the 17 districts in Mosorado County. And there are 4 media institutions in Mosorado that have formed a network to ensure that we successfully host this debate for legislative candidates in the October 10 election. So the 4 radio stations are OKFM, Pram FM, Lux Radio, the University of Liberia Radio, and the Rural Mosorado. But then the 17 districts are divided amongst the 4 radio stations. So for us, we got 4 debates to run in District 4, 5, and 6, Moserado County.
6 and 7.
4, 5, 6, and 7. That's good. So we got 4, 5, 6, and 7 Moserado County. The first debate comes up on Friday in District 4, and we will be using the Samuel M. Dukley Memorial School. So we got 26 candidates, representative candidates, and that will be taking part in this debate. But the good thing is, because of the number, we don't want to bring all of them one time in a hall. So we divide this number.
26 for one day.
District.
Yeah, District 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So District 4 has 26 candidates. District 5 has 16 candidates. District 6 got 40, and District 7 got 12. So for District 4, we got 26. We divided that number into 2. So we got first group of 13 coming by 10 a.m. So it will last up to 1 o'clock or 1:30, so that it ends that time. And then we take the next batch at 2 p.m. and run up to 4 o'clock.
But let me give you a little background of the debates. Before the institutions came together, this program is part of USA Liberia Media Activities. And so they brought these 4 institutions together, and we are independent media institution that they've trained us, gave us training to be able to conduct the debate for the lower house. Our colleagues came from rural Liberia, who also form part of this. So this thing is going across the 73 electoral districts of the country, with media institutions and practitioners that will be involved in the debate. So here in Moserado, as you heard you say, saying we have got 4 of the districts that will be running, and we'd like to use this time to say thank you to Internews that have got sponsorship through USA, that is using media practitioners to get involved with this electoral process. The intention for this debate is to give opportunity to all of the candidates that they can debate among themselves. I think that is part of reconciliation. You know, every time people get involved with election study, there are a lot of jabs that people throw at one another. But in a debate where control mechanism is being put in place, we ensure that everyone that will attend that debate will be on a straight order, because the presence of the police will also be there. So unruly behavior, personal attacks, and all of that will be ruled out of the process. So we like to encourage and use this time all of the candidates within the 4 districts where we are supposed to be running the debates. We want to use this medium to just say to some of them, we are also very challenged. It could be a little late and constrained as well. We may not be able to reach all of you in time, but we'd like you to follow this kind of medium that we're sitting down on through the management, and Magdalene and Craze for giving us this opportunity that we can come here to emphasize that the debates will be held according to time, especially the one tomorrow here in District 4. District 4 have got 26. Can you imagine? That's a huge number. It is impossible for us to set all these 26 together at once.
26
candidates in.
So my director general is part of the 26.
Definitely, yeah. We extended an invitation, but just interacting on phone. He said, he doesn't seem that he will attend the debate.
I think he got some schedule, but
it's important that he come for the debate, and I like all of you to encourage him to come for the debate. He has said on phone that he will not attend the debate; he's not interested. But we like to encourage him to come, and participate in such a debate, because it's also good for him. Other candidates are there. This will introduce you to one another, apart from the picture and the photo you're seeing over there.
And it's a platform.
It's a big platform
for you to interact with the district. They ask you questions. You can do your proposal. They understand your proposal. You can even win other people over based on your presentation on that day. This is a culture that local and international partners want to encourage. This thing started. We want to build this political culture of debate, where the candidates will always have the time, a platform where they can present their proposals to the people, convince the people on how they intend to run a district or the country. And so based on your promises and proposal, the people would know how to follow your work for a lawmaker at the capital and then in a district. And so the promises will be recorded, and so when
It will even be broadcast.
very good.
You know,
I mean, at the end of the whole debate, the promises will be recorded.
So when the District 4 will be held?
It's in the heart of Soul Clinic.
It's Soul Clinic.
Okay, yes, sir. We say when you can't raise one,
Yes,
right?
it's in the heart of the Soul Clinic area, and you
Yeah.
get around there, you see almost all the billboards. We were able to patrol the entire Soul Clinic. We came into Duper Road, you know, and stuff like that. It's a privilege, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Why? It is not a compulsory thing that, you know, one has to come to debate, but it's just
It is
a
a good platform
necessity,
to sell yourself.
you know, that you can come and be able to provide information and hear from other
Well,
police.
With professionals handling it, let the rest show that it's going to be a civil.
You can be a
let-
show.
Yeah, but Chief, I told you earlier. I don't know. You said tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, the first
Tomorrow.
debate,
Okay,
District 4.
tomorrow. So even after tomorrow, please just phone in so we can have this. Just give me all of the information so we can have them informed. Because to reach out to all of the candidates is
Very
a serious challenge that I've been facing. Even moving around with vehicle, you have
I
to
know.
put
I know.
gasoline in it. You have to move. They will say they will show you no direction in Liberia is our serious problem.
I
here.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So to get to this, have you even reached out to some of all of them?
Yeah, basically we have met a good number of them. The rest,
For District 4.
District 4.
District 4,
The
yeah.
rest, we're talking to them by phone, but they're giving us assurances that they will be a part of the debate. Only one or two telling us about their own schedule, campaign schedule. Yeah, we're doing
Yeah,
that.
we know that.
We're doing that. We continue that even up to this evening or tomorrow morning. We'll continue that. As we speak to you now, we are doing distribution for District 5 because Saturday we'll be hosting the District 5 debate at the PCS school.
Right here in
So-
Juba.
In Juba.
Mhm.
And so it's
Okay.
back-to-back debate, the Friday, then Saturday for District 5. So we do our best to have a good tenor. You know, this is one of the USA media activity for Liberia. And there are so many components of this activity or project and on Eton News. So we are into it. We are encouraging the Kenyans to form a part of it. Let's help build our democracy. Let's help move this country forward. I mean, the electorate to only come for you or cast a vote based on your proposal. You can present a blank check
Yes.
to the people.
Mhm.
That won't be a good thing in the minds of the
Yeah. Let me just to speak to that. You know what happened to me? So when the PL one, the controversial elections were coming up, my boss said, "Who you going to vote for?" And I said, "I'm not going to say anything right now. I will go for the debate. I will go for the yes, and I will listen to the deliberation, and they will convince me. I will make my decision right there."
It's very important that someone, you know, you attend a debate. And guess what? All of the candidates have been asked to bring at least 5 of their trusted members so that they can come with them. You know, there will be no cheering and all of that in the debate hall, but bring 5 of them. You know, as people who follow you are already believing in you. So imagine if 13 presidents had to bring 5, then the youth, women grouping and other organizations, and you know, we kept coming with even 5. That's a huge number to campaign before. That's a huge number you can say your platform to. So I would like to encourage everyone that is within District 4 as a candidate. Please come for the debate. The normal issues we're going to be discussing are the things you got on your platform.
Yes, I was just about to ask about that because sometimes people are afraid to go to the debate because they're afraid to be asked those kind of questions.
Nothing strange. The very thing you got on your platform are the very thing that you're going to be letting the people know about.
For example, education.
No, it depends what is on the manifesto of the
No,
candidate.
I thought they got.
There will be national issues coming up. And we'll also have issues in the district coming up. So we will ask some questions to the candidates, and then the people of the district who will form part of the debate will also ask questions. So we'll look at national and district issues and as well. So they speak to those issues. And
all the issues there, they're sanitation,
There are many
the
issues.
roads. These are all things that
Exactly. The dirt in your community,
There are
busy,
many of them.
Yeah.
dirty, and all that kind of thing.
lack of job opportunity when you go in District 10, you kind of District 4. I mean, these are all
So,
things that.
so we have what we call local turning issues and national turning issues. You know,
Okay.
that we'll put forward. Maybe 5 or 6 questions are lined up there. You may not even have the ability to speak to all of them, but the one that is put to you, you get addressed the way you believe it can be dealt with. Those are things, corruption issues. These are at the level, at the core of anybody who want to become a national leader. You got to tell us what you think about the fight over corruption in our country or against corruption in our country. Everyone has agreed that Liberia backwardness is all due to corruption because people are enriching themselves. So as a public leader who appear on such a debate, be expecting those kind of questions to come over so that you can be able to state completely your position when it comes to corruption.
When you think about drugs, the fight against drugs, the passage of the new drugs law.
The young people today.
What you idea you coming with intent in tackling drugs and other issues affecting the people. Water. We are in Monrovia or Central Monrovia, in Mosurado, and electricity has not reached a good number of the population. Pipe-borne water is still an issue. How you intend to engage the executive, the national government, to ensure that the people get the best out of the government? And so we need people to come and tell the electorate. So we want to use this platform to talk to the people of District 4, talk to the people of District 5, the people of District 6, the people of District 7, that we will be in your districts and we'll be talking to the people who have raised their hand and say they want to lead you. They want to lead you at the national level. They want to represent your interests at the level of the legislature. So you come, form a part of the debate, ask them the hard questions, and let them provide the answers. The answers will be recorded and cataloged and then reduced to a book form, given to them if they win the election. So on that booklet, we remind you, hey, you said during the debate you will do X, Y, Z for the people. What are you doing? Besides the how of your promise is very important, or your promises. If you say you will ensure that the people of District 4, for example, we have pipe-borne water, and how are you going to do that? There is a culture that many people think that the lawmaker should dig his hand into his own pocket and come out with the money to ensure that those things are happen. Is that the way forward? Is it good for our democracy, our governing process? Is that how a lawmaker should ensure that the needed things come to the people? So we want to hear you proffer different arguments so that we get to build this culture of democracy and debate in our country.
You only have the number. That do you have the names of all of them?
Everything is available. Everything for the
26
in electoral district in Liberia, we have almost everything. But we are located within 7 of those to deal with. So they are the one we're going to be dealing with. All other colleagues will pick up with the rest. You know,
I mean, with District 4, you said 26.
We have tried to reach as many as we can. So almost everybody. We call some of them by phone. We reach out to some
like your CEO is first on our list, and one Prince Cooper is second on our list, and
the list is available.
There is and the current representative is still on our list. There are many of them on the list, up to 26. If you want it, I can read out the names for you if you still have the time, so you know who are those contesting in District. So JKB, can there be talking a bit while I try to read out the names?
He's finding the names to read it out for District 4 for today. And then District 5 is on Saturday as well too. So we'd like to encourage all of the candidates, come with at least 5 persons who you believe can form and sit in our hall. The hall, once again, is a Sammy Dukley Memorial High School right in the heart of Soul Clinic. It's an old school. It's a popular name within our district. Come there in time. Leave me, Magdalene, because we have the back-to-back on tomorrow. First 13, second 13. We're not allowed to be seated there. We have 3, 4 in the hall, and we'll say waiting the rest to come. We don't expect everybody to come, but as many as come.
I want to believe that. I want to believe that.
So we'll start in time. We'll be in time.
So we got liability. He represents the CPP.
What? Boss man didn't come in and fight us.
He's number 1.
Oh, he's number 1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Prince Cooper comes from the Liberal First Movement. We got SWAC.
No, just for the name quickly. Yeah.
John Smo Flomo. We have Eric G. Ballon. We have Stephen M. Hammond, we have Wow, Kofiko Jala, we got Momobi Kamara, we got Lincoln Esquier, we got Batu Papa Colina, we got Ellis Josh, Kokolia, we got Bau Kou, we got Mendukwa J. Lomenum, Gabi F. Peewee, Thomas J. Prato, Sami Jala, James M. Strutter, Richard G. Small, and A. Kolubo Taylor, Benjamin S. Thomas, we got Michael M. Thomas, we got Johansson, we got David Koluba one, we got Jimama Ko Wolokoli, we got Andrew M. Wonget, and Lena L. Wright. The 26 case is in District 4.
And
Yeah, if you have numbers.
Now, the fights from 1 to 13 are coming in the morning.
10 o'clock.
Okay.
10 o'clock. So,
1 to 13.
Need may be arranged, but we're taking from 1 straight to 13 for the 10 a.m. slot.
So who's the 13 on that list?
13 to 14
The 13th
will come
on the list.
to 26.
So the 13th on the list is one Menduoka J. Lolimo.
Okay. So the second batch of 13 will come in the afternoon.
All right. So in the afternoon, beginning 1.
I'll leave at 2, yeah.
Okay, but by that time, if we rearrange the area, but I want to call numbers. Maybe some candidates communication have not reached them yet because they get some.
So you can call my number and call JKB's number. JKB will read out his number, but my number is 777-976-913. You can use the same for the Lone Star 086-976-913. 777, that is 0777-976-913, 0886-976-913.
Just in case you miss out, you can even stop by Magdalene and just ask her for JKB number, or anybody here will be able to provide it to you. But my number is 0776-561-202, 0776-561-202. We are calling on the representative candidates of district number 4. Tomorrow is the debate. The first 13, 1 to 13, you are in the morning. We'd like to emphasize and re-emphasize that. 1 to 13, you are in the morning, 10 a.m. We have to entering our hall by the advice of our organizers and sponsors. We will kickstart the debate. Wherever you can and meet us, we move on with that. We want to introduce this culture of people believing in time and not always delaying, because it's a public thing and what have you. It's in your best interest. The way you want to serve us at the legislature and not be running and taking left and right, to go to work, come in time. Let's introduce that and consider be very time let's be time considerate.
And people in District 5, they also be on Saturday the 9.
Yeah, and it's going to be right here.
School.
PCS school, Joba. Somebody called Aledo. We wanted the PCS. There's a junior high school right there.
Joba.
The Joba. So we'd like you to come there.
All right. So on a serious note, I worked with the JKB, I think for like 2 days. And I mean, as young as I am, and he's more experienced older than me, he was there giving me up there, Magdalene. That way I have done this wrong. I said, because so now I feel so embarrassed when he gave me all this, and this is what we have. So I mean, he's a good team player on a serious note. But we will take few calls. And then the numbers have been announced. You can call the number to reach out to them.
Some of you maybe campaign people for this.
Some of you did not. The communication did not reach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Magdalene, this is half of the care.
It's good to hear from you, my brother. Long time.
Yeah. So I don't know why you people did not include this. Let us only the representative, and I don't know why Magdalene want to give a excuse for us liability. Let you go on have something and don't give an excuse because it will cause you to lose some, votes because people want to know your manifestos and then they will make a decision right there.
Okay.
So
Let me get clear on that. The Senate,
Okay, thank you
debate
so
are
much.
being held by the LNDI.
0775932170.
The LNDI took charge of that. We are at the lower house level.
0775932170. So, Jacob, you can answer the question.
We are at the lower house level. All of us, the 4 radio station, we are dealing with the 17th district in Mosera County, dealing with candidates who are opting for representative seat. So the Senator John Colley did that already, and I think I even formed part of that debate. Yes.
Yeah, so like you said, senators will not be only for representative candidate, and you have to be there tomorrow at the Simon Douglas School. I think it's a popular school there in Soukene community.
So just for me to work also hard to be saying all I want about me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for coming, and we will keep passing the message on to the candidates as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Chicken.
Again, we want to say,
please call tomorrow to give us update.
We should give you update. Yeah, we should give it. After District 4, District 5 is on Saturday. We are saying Pinzo Joe Bar is also in your district. Joe Bar is where we have District 5 candidates appearing for the debates.
Yeah, so a post-mortem analysis of the district debate tomorrow, please.
Yeah,
please don't forget to reach out to me so we can give you time to you don't have to come. We just take you for at least 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can do that on phone.
We'll do that.
Chief.
Okay.
Sorry for pressing with time.
Thank you. We do appreciate this. But please encourage my former boss to appear at the debate. He said he's not coming, so please encourage him. All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. So I want to have time to spar there tomorrow.
Yeah, so maybe I think you may have time. But money, I remember I moderated debate in Grand County as well as Bapolu County 2017. India, we were one local NGO, and they had the same contract with the National Democratic Institute. No, you don't see people afraid to go to debate. I don't know why. In Bapolu, we go to one district, you have about 10 person running. Sometimes one person will come, sometimes 2 persons will come. But we say we organize a debate, the people will come and on the Grand Cape man at the time Boshery and Samuel Taylor were running. They were very competitive. They came to that debate in 10 we had the same thing as well. So we hope that the representative candidates can take advantage of it and go and talk about that. So let's move to our next issue.
Yes, we expect the guests. They are already here for the anti-drug awareness hour. We should have started at 3:30, but we have to do this. It's a call to national service.
Yes.
I mean, the debate is very important. It's essential, and we had to do this because the candidates will be explaining about their plans, their manifesto, what they intend to do, or what they have done that the people of that district should elect them. So it's very, very essential. And so we have Abia. Abia is going to lead us into this conversation today, and along with the former Deputy Director General for Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. He's also in studio. Martin Pacquiao is have come from United Kingdom. I think he came touchdown a few days ago, but he will not be with us today. And because of the time sake, I intend to reach out to most of our panelists.
Yes.
Phoebe Harris as well is one of our panelists, and Dempster, Ambassador Dempster Bryce. Adama Dempster, I'm sorry, Councilor. I'm Mr. Adama Dempster. Kiatama Dempster is also a panelist, but they will not be on today because of the time factor. So we want to give Abel the time, and he and one of our lead panelists to introduce themselves shortly, and then we go straight into the conversation. Remember, today again, 2 guys walk in the office to me and say, Magdalene, we have this organization. We are, talking about drugs, and we helping to fight the issue of drugs. And then another young man came to me the other day, said, Magdalene, this is what I'm going through. I'm really struggling with it, and I'm trying to leave it, but I need help. So, so I mean, we are making impact, but we don't know what actually we are doing. Sometimes the impact you are making, you don't know how impactful it is. So it's now up to Abel Plaki. Abel, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure
to be here once again. It's been a while now since we discussed the issues relating to the growth of our country, most especially the eradication, the prevention of illicit drugs in our society. So I'm happy to be here, and thanks for holding on. Thank you for this invitation. We are here once again to enlighten the public and how we can find a solution to the nightmare, the demon that is not taking the young people and some elderly people. And we need to attack it fast, with all energy that we have, because it's going to be the next war if care is not taken after the bullets and the guns. The next war, if care is not taken, it's going to be something that will destroy the very fabric that we're trying to elevate. So it's my pleasure once again to be here. Thanks for having me.
So congratulations. I saw you with a very new pathfinder.
That has been so good to us, and I will be glad to receive more cars and even jet planes and things. So as you continue to proactively, alter the, utterances, we will get them. Perfected utterances are good. So
all right.
You can also project jet plane again, so I can get jet plane.
All right, Deputy Director General, former of Elite.
My name is Gui K. Pokwa, former DA Deputy Director General for Administration. Nice to be here.
Okay, so our topic today on the Anti-Drugs Awareness Hour is the role of the faith-based institutions in preventing and fighting illicit drugs in the community. So Abel is leading us into this discussion today. We're going to give him an uninterrupted 5-6 minutes. He will deliberate. Then Mr. Pogba will also have 5 minutes to deliberate. And we have questions. We will come in from there because we are trying to manage the time. We're trying to give enough time to Abel so he can, yes. All right, please go on.
Thank you.
So I think you all know Edwin Dolo. He's my colleague, and we are doing this together.
You like introduction to my Librarian people. Yeah, Librarian people like title business, everybody is honorable.
I said colleague.
Well, thank you. When we're talking about faith-based institutions, it's not limited to churches. You're talking about school. You're talking about institutions with values, people that respect values. So it's not limited to churches, mosques, the temple, the synagogues. You're talking about school. So the role of faith-based institution in fighting illicit drugs, prevention, and things like those is very important. When you go as far back as our constitution or our history, you know that religious institutions, play a very important role in the establishment of our country. And when you look at their role, you know exactly that they have established moral balance in the school, in the churches, in the family, at different lengths, at different areas within the society. So as a particular instant, the role of religious institutions. So we want to begin with the school. How can religious or faith-based institutions, for those of you who don't understand when I say faith-based, you're talking about institutions with moral values. Of course, the churches are the moral conscience. The mosques as well. They are the moral conscience of our society. So the school, because if you subtract the schools now from the public school year, there will be no schools in the country because the religious institutions surpass all of the schools in the country. So how do these institutions prevent the fight against illicit drugs? How do we do that? The first thing we need to do here, the churches or the school, I want to begin with the school. Can the school set aside a space? So you have 45 minutes, for instructional hours. Can we take every day in the school, take 20 minutes? 20 minutes in the school. That is an extracurricular. 20 minutes in the school to talk about the way the drugs is dealing and killing of the young people in the country. How do you do that? So you have from 8 in the morning to 2 o'clock, most of the schools are out. So can we say from 8 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon? So the 10 minutes is for the explanation of the danger of the drugs. I tell you no lie. If these things do not happen from the school where you find all of the students spending not even half of their day, but they spend 78% of their day, because if you leave your home 7 o'clock in the morning, some people wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, and then they stand on the road to get out of the motorcycle or the tricycle or car. Then they reach on campus at 8:30, and they leave on campus, they leave from campus at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're spending more than 60% of your day on campus. Can the religious institution, particularly the school, begin to start telling the kids in the school the danger that what poses on the lives of those they are teaching? Because if you do these things, they will begin to understand. Then when they come back home, their parents will add on it. So this is the role of faith-based institution. How do they prevent it? Is to add additional time with their instructional time. It can just be academic. Because if you give all of the academic and the president does not have all of what you have given to them because of drugs, you're just wasting water on the rock. So the best thing to do is to give additional instructional period outside of academic. And that's also academic, but it's morally, balanced when it comes to fighting drugs, because this is what we need to do. We are losing on the whole generation. And this generation, part of them go to school. There are just 2% that go to school, and the rest stay home. If you begin with those who go into school that also live home, with 30 minutes every day, because you have more than 200 days, instructional days in the year to end, and you take just 30 minutes of each of the days, it's going to serve a purpose. When you read the Bible in First Corinthians, it's mentioned about teaching, about faith. So we live by faith. So we talk about faith-based institution. But this one, we are talking about effective, affirmative action, not just to say but to say a small curriculum. We talk about how God has been so destructive to the lives of the young people. See what is happening? I just drove passing through Cooper Road. You got people standing on a street. Have you seen that? People standing on a street. So the schools can begin to do that. And how do we do that? The principal, the school administrators cannot just be after the school fees. They can't just be after students. Because if you don't do that in the next academic year, you may not even have the student. So this is one of the ways. Another way you can do that. You can even put up a competition. You can put up competition in school. The way you do that to get people attracted, not to drugs, you can put up competition. Maybe you say in the school, those who want to answer this question regarding drugs, you will get this point on your assignment. You will get this point on your quiz. These are things that will help a lot in the school. And then the third thing, when the pastors mount the pulpit, salvation is good. But what's the essence of salvation when the very people you're speaking to are dead because the drugs is killing them? So the pastors should take 30 minutes of their time if they have 45 minutes to preach. Take 30 minutes or 20 minutes so you can speak simple English to your congregation, because don't say my people are not involved in drugs. No, the children of those who come to listen to you are taking in drugs, and the church is within the community. So the pastor should say, the pastors or the imam, those who are serving in the temple, you can take 30 minutes or 20 minutes every Sunday or every Friday or every Wednesday. Every time you go to church, some of the churches go, Wednesday, they got midweek service, they got Friday prayer service. Take 20 minutes to begin to teach about the effect of drugs. The pastors must put the lay aside salvation a little bit. We understand salvation is the way to heaven, but the people can go to heaven when they are not heavenly conscious. You can be spiritually and heavenly conscious, and you miss heavenly salvation. And the heavenly salvation is the eradication of drugs. Our pastor should begin to do this thing in Sunday school. If you have 1 hour of Sunday school, take 30 minutes. Take 30 minutes to talk to those who go to Sunday school, those who come for Bible studies on Wednesday. Tell them the effect of drugs, because of how the very people you are teaching. If the drugs further destroy them, you won't have Sunday school. You won't have any Bible study. You won't have prayer. You won't believe it. People going to church, and some of those who go to church, their children are violent.
You want to include the imams? You want to include the imams as well?
Imam. And we know the imam, they go to the mosque on Friday. So if the guy, because they got their 2 o'clock prayer and they got their morning prayer, but most especially their 2 o'clock prayer. So before they start their prayer, they use the 2 o'clock 10 minutes to talk to some of the Muslim children. Because this thing is not about the Christian children, the Muslim children, everybody taking drugs. Majority of those who taking the drugs were born by either Christian parents or Muslim parents. So the imam and those in the temple, they should use 30 minutes every Friday. The Christians, as you go to church, the pastors forget about too much prosperity messages. Because all the prosperity messages, when everybody is indoctrinated with drugs, you will not have nobody giving in the church. So use 30 minutes of your sermon to indoctrinate the people with the effect, the danger of drugs. Inculcate into the minds of the people that are sitting under you to listen. Because if you don't do so, very soon, the very church, the very members of God is setting the window. They start setting the drums and the instruments in church because they honor the influence of drugs. So every Sunday, this is the way we can fight. Then the bigger picture now will come with the government because, and to come out of that, the churches should begin cooking, should begin incorporating, should begin, because when you check some of the offerings, the collections, the donation of some of the churches, it just placed in the bank, and then other people using it, to do businesses. Can the churches take some of this money, build small rehabilitation center, and put it in place and prepare food? And then you bring the nurses to detoxicate the drugs from the people's system. That's how you affect the people physically. Jesus did not just meet the spiritual needs of the people. He met both their physical needs and their spiritual needs. We all know the famous Sermon on the Mount. And Jesus not giving the people food, they would have left. They would not have praised him, oh hallelujah, because they were hungry. So he called, and there was a little boy with 2 pieces of fish and 5 loaves of bread. He prayed, and those things increased. So the pastors must begin to provide food. I don't know how many churches provide food every first Sunday or every Sunday, because even the members that go to church, they are hungry. And the way to do this thing, people are carried away.
Who told you that people hungry?
By their conditions. So we want to encourage the religious community. Begin to cook on some Sunday. We know it's challenging to cook every Sunday, but begin to collect money. Even go to evangelize in the community. Some of where these churches are constructed, you found all disadvantaged young people in those communities. Like the Pinsway alone. Pinsway is the biggest center in Liberia. When you check the number of churches in Pinsway, by the time that you be no Zogos yet, it means Jesus Christ is everywhere. Well, why is it that you got more Zogos in Pinsway and you got more churches here? It means the churches should redesign their strategy. You can't just have Bible study and you just talk about salvation. Yes, salvation is good, prosperity is good. But when you do not talk about the issues that are affecting the people that come to listen to you, you may not have a church very soon. You may not have a church. So we are encouraging the pastors, the imam, begin to hold small discussion. Use 10 minutes of your time to talk about the danger. How do we prevent this thing that is killing people? Because if we don't do it, the church will soon collapse.
All right. Edwin, you want to ask a question before we go?
Yeah, I think you can also talk about, because I have noticed most of the churches too now have health talks. During service hour, they have health talks. But maybe they can also invite comedian people. They can have drama. They can have stuff, right?
Yeah, so you see, the health talk is good, but the health talk has been just how you prevent malaria, how you prevent hypertension, how you prevent
more than that.
It should be holistic. Now it should take different trend. We should take different trend. Now we're talking about drugs. This is very serious. I know of a pastor whose son is under the influence of drugs. Can you think? You just come to think about it. He goes on the pulpit to preach, but he is not satisfied. That's his first song.
It doesn't attack a certain group of people.
You understand?
It's just...
I know what it means. So the pastors, the imam, the religious leader, the bishop, the archbishops, the prophet, the apostles, they should now design some of the programs in their churches. Like I said, some pastors preach for 1 hour. Take 30 minutes of that 1 hour to just talk about the effect of
30
drugs.
minutes even long.
Yeah, but you can start from there. If you don't have the capacity to talk about drugs, go to the mental homes, go to the hospital, find professionals. They will come to the church. It does not have to be necessarily the pastor. There are even members within the churches that are competent, qualified. Some of them hold this thing. And that's some of the problem we have. You can preach every Sunday. Design ways and means that you incorporate everybody. And one of the ways is to invite somebody who has an expertise in this area. You have Papa, yeah. This man can be invited. He does not have to be a preacher. You can call him to a church and he can explain to you the danger about drugs. Because if you don't do so, these churches will soon collapse. Like I said, there should be no reason why more Zogos are in Peaceville when you have more churches in Peaceville. What's going on? What's wrong? It means the churches need to redesign their strategy as to how they get members. And I tell you no lie, some of our brothers that are under the influence of drugs are talented people. Some of them can sing, some of them play the guitar, some play the organ. Some of them are very good ushers. Some of them were even in the churches. They left the churches because they were confessed by their friends, peer pressure. How do you get these people back? And I see most of the churches, they're on prosperity, they're on salvation.
So when it comes to the school issue, you want it to be taught in school. What do you think? How would this subject? How would this course be called?
This one, it should not even come from the Ministry of Education. The school administrators are fathers and mothers. You have right on your school. If you can come from school 2 o'clock, if you are 30 minutes, then what's wrong with that? That 30 minutes is to particularly talk about the issue of drugs. That's all. So you have that section either before reset or after reset. Get it in the middle, either before reset or after reset. You have the school. There are 200 or less or more than 200 instructional days. So the school's administrators, the proprietors can begin to design this thing, because this is very serious. We are losing on a whole generation. We are losing on a whole. The school will begin to do that. We can say the fight against drugs. We can begin like that. The fight against drugs, illicit drugs. When you carve that in the school, and even put placard at the entrance of the school. And another thing you can do, begin to search the students. You can search a student and even, if possible, get a drugs machine test to test students. I want to see the schools that will buy the machine and test the students that will go to school. Those that will be caught with drugs, you can't deny them. But what you do, you put this one side, you cancel them, the drugs from the system before you put them in the school, so they can't contaminate the other students. So we want to see the schools. We want to see the schools bringing about blood tests as the school year is about to start. We want to see that. We want to see that happening. If those people are caught, they can be set aside and the drugs are detoxicated from the system, and they are canceled and they are reconnected with their friends. That's how
okay. We'll come back to you, because we'll come back to you with the question whether prayer too can help, because many people also believe that this drugs is demonic. We'll come back after the that have spoken from the end of the drugs enforcement agency.
So let me do a follow-up. Mr. Papa, is it possible he's asking the schools to have, is it tester, right?
If you recall our last program here, I told you that there's a need for the country, because drug test is not just a simple thing.
Why is it?
It should go at a national level, where there will be a lab created in this country that will cater for the drug issue, where everyone will have to be tested for certain reasons. Those that will be in government, those that will be, in front of other things that will be dealing with people, and the youth too. Okay?
But we got tester, yeah?
No. As I said, not to my knowledge that you have tested to test people.
Is it expensive to get?
Very expensive. Very expensive. It takes the national government to do that. It's not just easy thing for anybody.
So cheap. On a serious note, we do not have a tester here in Liberia.
To my knowledge, I'm not saying it.
But
and that is the reason why we
is
have
there any something substandard equipment?
The anti-doping stuff.
Yeah,
they have issue. They have different equipment that you can use at certain level.
Okay.
But take for example, you want to prosecute somebody in court, you got to convince that the court that this issue you are speaking about is illicit drugs, and so that test cannot be just any kind of test. So that is why when we used to do, as I told you before, we take them to Ghana, we then take them to Nigeria and other part of the world to have that test properly done to convict the people here.
Okay, so you can go ahead.
Okay,
so we'll give you Mr. Papa,
Mhm.
we'll give you 3-4 minutes to deliberate or ask Abel questions. From there, we'll have to open the lines because this is very essential, talking about introducing teaching of health talk in schools and churches and mosques, and it's very important. So we'll let for the public to interact.
This is a good topic. That is why we don't have that much time, but we'll try. This topic today is very important. In fact, the UNGA in 2016, they came up with a special report that we should have drug education in all schools, churches, and other public activities. So there's a need to organize this kind of thing. But going back to the DEA, we had a department that had something to call the prevention, and that prevention organized a team that used to go from school to school. In those schools, we organized something called drug club, where you have interested youth that start to put together, and that will enthuse their friends to join. And then in the churches, we did a whole lot of presentation in various churches. I did a whole lot of presentation in churches, in other youth centers when I was at the head of the DEA. So these things have been existing, but the continuation is an issue. So for us to be, for it to be holistic, to find everybody involved, the drug issue across every sector, the older people, the young people, the middle-aged people, everyone. Nobody's immune from this drug issue. People who got wealth can even start selling them just to take drugs. All right? So it's dangerous to everybody. This is everybody's business. And so we should make effort to make sure that the churches start to preach this thing. And as I said before, there is a need to have a curriculum at the Ministry of Education to start the students from nursery all the way maybe to 12th grade. I remember they have some courses at the University of Liberia teaching some drugs at that level. But if you train the child from the beginning, they get to know the danger of drugs at that early age. They're going to go away from it. That is just a way forward. And so the UN have realized that is the way they fight against drug military, where the gun and police have not helped. Because they're having this thing all over. You go anywhere in the world, you will find drugs, even in America. I was just telling the guy, second time we passed at the train station in Philadelphia, I see the people bending down, head down, with their head but they're not reaching on the ground, just in one spot. I asked the guy, what is that? He said, look at that drug addicts, right? But they're hammering nobody, but they're just standing there. For hours, they're standing there. When they get out of them, go buy and buy, so as long as they got money. So this is not something that people can handle with peace. We have to do something as a country, as a government, as a people. The layman in the village should tell their children not to play with drugs. Drugs is dangerous. It will kill everybody. This country should not be a narco state because the brother will not want to listen. You see, the danger is people want to get rich and allowing drugs to come in the country. And the emphasis is placed on the drug at the broil recently, where you hear that the people find no culprits up to today, nobody responsible. This thing is fearful. So what are we doing? Because people are benefiting, they think they are benefiting, but sooner or later they're going to get out. They're going to face it. If you are not rich among thousands of people, you are not rich. Because people will reach out for what you have. If they can't get it peacefully, they will get it forcefully. This is why you see the criminals moving around. If you get the guy going around taking drugs, and then in the night you don't sleep, you start lacking, you create iron bars all around the house. So there's probably no, you're not able to run out. Sometimes if there's fire or something, people need to live in peace. And what we have to do, we have to fight the head on, everyone, including the young people, the older people, and the educated people. Okay. You think they are not involved. Most of the people involved. The marijuana talking about they are participating in the interior. But a matter of fact, I tell you my story. Recently, I went up there. And then I see the guy, they came to the guy, they say, oh, you're going to work on a gold mine. And then he was asking them to start that day. I asked him, what are they talking about? You know what they said? All of these young guys over 20, 30, they are going to work on a gold mine. They start a day, they're going to get on drugs. If they take the drugs, they will think, oh, they will start feeding the people. But imagine at the beginning of it, when they get serious, they will never put man up, they will come back and try how to get money to protect it, and they'll go crazy. So these are dangerous signs people should know. All Liberians can see this anywhere that we should pay attention to the drug issue and start taking it light. We have to fight drugs. Everybody have to fight drugs.
All right. So I want us to open the lines. You know, this topic will be dragged for next week.
You were asking a question about
So
prayer.
Prayer and how drugs people feel that is demonic. Do you believe that?
But all of these things are demonic. They are sin. It's not something usual or something you very light. The issue of drugs is not an ordinary something. It's demonic because it's a spirit that's responsible for that. So that's why we say the role of faith-based institutions, inclusive of the churches and the school. You know, so the issue about fighting drugs should not be left for just one individual or one group of people, because if you think that your child is not taking drugs yet, but your child is in a school with people who are taking drugs, so don't be happy that your child is not taking drugs when he's interacting with people in the community that are taking drugs. Don't be surprised one day he comes and start acting, unusual. And when you know your Gucci gone, your bag gone, your shoes start going, So don't be happy. So this thing here, I can understand because we limiting it to the religious institution, but the government we know is the appropriate arm or institution are responsible. Our borders. Because no matter how the religious institution can prevent, once the drugs keep coming from the airport, the seaport, and other ports of entry, it's going to be difficult to fight it. So we just want to honor the role of the institution, the churches, the mosque, and the school. He mentioned something very important. You're talking about drugs club. Yeah, we got the drugs club in the school.
Yeah.
And when you have a drugs club in the school, you want to send a message. Because there will be an education, there will be innovation, there will be time where they will have time to present their friends, young people. We need to be very meticulous about what we're talking about. All of these proposals we're putting out from the different presidential candidates, they cannot be realized when drugs is not actually fought. Drugs has to be fought, or else we will retrogress.
All right, so we're about to take course. Yeah.
The faith base is merely about education. All right? Because when we educate people, they will go away from the drugs. The pastors, people can listen to them. That is the key.
Yeah.
People can listen to them.
Religious leaders. Yeah.
One of the key.
All right, let's listen to this one before we can begin taking course.
Oh, yeah.
See that again,
Interesting. Speaking of real street.
In the north. Pimple water.
Yeah.
That is not just dangerous, but it's a disease that you even bring it. We all know what pimple is being used for.
Yeah. So let's begin taking course. Yeah. Hello. Yes, sir. Quickly.
Good afternoon to people Blackie and the other guests in the studio. I'm following from District 4, and this is the voice of Akwe influencing us. Said Magdalene, before going forward, I must applaud you and Uncle Chris for even creating the platform where some of our big brothers will come and talk to the young people on this issue of drugs. Said Magdalene, it is only clear that one way to fight this particular drug is the issue of awareness. I strongly believe all of our young people have fallen prey to drugs because some of them from the onset, they did not understand the dangers and the situations are involved with the issue of taking drugs.
Okay.
This is why some of us we think, in as much as these people talking, let us try to train the younger children. For some kids that I'm working with, and with this, a lot of interviews are circulating the internet. You know, people get captivated and emotional when they hear young children talking something. So
Yeah.
it is true that we train the young children. You hear 7-year-old child talking about drugs, or 6-year-old child educating people about drugs. I think people will get captivated by the message.
Okay.
Okay.
Try to train the young children to the issue of awareness is very important when it comes to fighting this drug.
Thank you so much. Get to me so we can maybe host you and hear from them as well.
No problem, Sis Maria. I will try to get to you.
Okay, sir. Thanks for placing your call. Yeah, Chief. Hello.
Magdalene, good afternoon. And to my Blackie, I almost disagree with you when you're talking about the charges, but you just clarified you're a smart guy. Anyway, let me say this: you don't look where you don't blame where you fall, but what causes you to fall is what you blame. And so, for this reason, we should be able to, the government will be able to put things into place to stop drugs coming into this country. Then the churches will carry the awareness, the school will carry the awareness, and so the drugs is stopped maybe 80%, things will be under control, but the drugs is coming in 100 million percent. The church will talk and nothing will happen. And we carry out this awareness in our churches, and every time I work at the mental hospital right on the Dolo road for 2 good years. I know what I'm talking about. And I need to come on the show to talk about
Please do. How far? Sorry, your invitation. I'm so sorry, but we can do that this coming week, yeah? I beg you, I beg you, I get it on, I beg you.
Don't worry, you get old.
Yeah, hello. Yes, our peace ambassador.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you and the rest of the honor corner race when it comes to the talks. Magdalene is actually worrisome. For me, my school, I guess, started somewhere for the hardest now with girls going to school. And to the point I was boss children are being on boss alley. I want to worry if my daughter or children, I'm going to my high school, I'm doing what because I want a teacher. I get married my girls' children, and I have to go and get somebody good that want to help them all too. But I don't know worrisome on a serious note. We all need to fight to the don't tell it to the joke. After the water with that drugs, he ain't got that. He ever look at the corner of the community. He goes drugs. What's going on with the DA? I hope and pray that the next government is going to visit that DA.
DA budget have been slashed.
Because they impose the law, they're going to damage the power of our nation. This thing is error. This is, and we're going to fight it together to get rid of the drugs in our country. That will turn out a peaceful LP of protectorate in the country and want to contribute towards the creation of our country. Thank you so much for giving time this afternoon.
All right. Thank you so kindly for your. Yeah, hello. Hello? Hello? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm in the introduction. Guru once a physically talented brother who called you from the posted of the channel. And I have my only firstborn who called himself in the shoe. And I used to call that after me, even with the phone, they were help me to locate for me somewhere around Kingley. Yeah. He's a father of 5 children. He was in Canada and one Lawrence Godwin. Every day in Kingley, and he's part of this habit. He's so pathetic.
You said for the what? He's how many years old?
Trucks.
Oh, okay. How many children he has? Wow.
Yes, it's so pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I wish I could just help.
Four children.
No, you
1990
text me. I'm not
children.
seeing your number. Text me. You can see, right? Text me his name.
He's visually impaired.
Yeah.
On this number.
Yeah, on this number. Yeah. All right. My heart is broken. Yeah. Hello. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, quickly. You be the last caller.
I want to appreciate that you get so much and what team I think is very hard. Yeah, his team has targeting the churches and more because everyone that goes to school, probably you either go to church or you go to the mosque. So it's very essential that the church finally got it like that should be our target. What the schools and the church is about. So much and they should be discouraged. Maybe at times some are going to discourage them. We have to tell them today in the fight against drugs until our country can do some drugs.
Okay. All right. Thanks so kindly. We sorry we can't take any more calls, but let me get this one from Mr. Lakia. It says, "Hello, Magdalene. Our country is heading for a complete breakdown, considering how rapidly the deadly drugs are proliferating. We must govern us to eradicate those harmful illegal drugs. Every able individual should." Oh my God! We're not taking calls again. Every able individual should participate. Thanks for the show, Mr. Lucky. Please continue to play those drug recordings to remind ourselves. Yeah, we will do. We have a lot of them here. So we sorry, we do not have time and we are out of time. Next week, we're going to be here discussing this very topic and adding more flavors on it and some other subtopics. We're going to develop it in it. Please put it in the chat room.
Okay. We should not start 4:15 hour. 4:30. Start 3.
I know y'all were ready with me in that chat room today.
Don't give us 30 minutes.
That's why I put it. But on a serious note, it was actually wonderful. I would like to give you each one of you a minute.
I know. I don't like that thing when people say your final word. I don't get no final word.
You party.
No, you are right. You know, most friends say, "What's your final word?" You know what I mean? What's your final word? They are going just now.
Are you scary?
No, just now. I have a lot to do here to bring about rescuing this country. So I'm not prepared to go right now. Look,
this is a non-political.
I said we have a lot to do in rescuing this country. You know, so I'm not going to now. We'll say you gave me a final word. But we want to thank the callers for the compliments, and we want to thank all of you. This is not just an individual business. The church has an important role to play in remolding the public debate when it comes to drugs. So the church or the mosque or the school, they are very important. These are institutions that are regarded as the moral conscience of the society. So we want to say that the little you can do while you are ministering the gospel, whether on Friday, whether on Sunday, whether on Wednesday, whether during Sunday morning Bible studies, let us take some time to create that education. Because the very people that are under the influence of drugs are the people that live in the community. They are elders' children, they are members' children, they are pastors' children, they are children that go to church, that go to mosque. We need to do something, or else in the next 5 years we'll have to import young people from different African countries and other countries to come here to work. Don't take the thing for fun. Even at different parties, graduation was soon start booming. High school graduation, the people put the thing in the kaya, in the pepper soup. It's getting privileged, and we need to talk about it. So I want to use this opportunity to wish my nephew speedy recovery. Christopher, wherever you are, I'm trying to get single. You got to stand up. We got 3 more days of election, and you want to get sick. You got to stand up and exercise your franchise and make sure that this country is successfully redeemed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Papa.
Thank you, Magdalene. Thank you to those who are listening to our radio land. Okay, we're making appeal to our people, the country people, our own country people, the people in the churches, in the mosques, from the schools, those who are preaching in the streets. Wheresoever you think it is wrong to bring drugs in our country, the danger of it, please speak it out to the people. Wheresoever you got a conscious mind, help us to talk to the people. Drug is dangerous. Drug is not good for our country. Let us all kick drugs out of Liberia. Thank you so much for inviting us today again.
Thank you so kindly. Two guests yet, 2 panelists, not guests because they've been here since we launched this segment. Former Deputy Press Secretary of Madam Salif. He spent 3 years.
You want to read what?
You want to go back? at the Drug Enforcement Agency for Administration, former Deputy Director General for Administration. So it was wonderful. Marcy Pacquiao is back from the United Kingdom. He will join us next week. Mr. Adaman, Tamar Dempston as well, and Kobe Harris are all panelists on this segment. John, Edwin Dolo.
Yes, thank you so much, Magdalene. I think it was
if you are giving the ambassador letter to you, Ambassador Bwaka, we want to be on record to invite all of our.
It is very important that a member of your institution go there, present the letter, and receive a contact number as to who received it. That will be very important. Maureen is the executive secretary. She always in the office. If someone takes a letter,
there, right?
Yeah. His home office. Read the rehab there. It's just 10 minutes.
I can't press for the rescue center.
No, don't go to the rescue center. Go to the vice president personal office and present the letter there.
Why you say you press it on your voice and that?
Yeah, his personal home office. And you will receive a rousing welcome. And you know, a reception will be giving you, and somebody will receive the letter, and a contact number will be giving you for follow-up.
All right.
So this is supposed to be like anti, drugs agency.
Our training in America, I read that issue with the guy. The guy said, that's a name, Mr. Papa. It's a name. It's not implied the interpretation of the word, but it's a name. So I said, but if we enforce,
we say online.
No. Thank you.
On Facebook, you see you got me.
Yeah, that's funny.